Welcome back to the Jared Briggs Show. Hey, everybody, hope you're having the best day ever. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching it on the live, on YouTube, Facebook. There we go. If you go to my page, Jared Briggs, I stream it on the Facebook page there, or you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube or Apple or Spotify. Those are the places that I'm publishing it right now. So whatever you guys like to listen to. If you watch it on Facebook, YouTube, or Spotify, you get to watch the video. I'm going to be sharing some things here. And if you watch on Apple, you just get to listen. So if you're driving and want to just listen to it, maybe Apple or whatever you guys want to do. It's a free country. You can do whatever the heck you want to do. I'm going to be talking about protecting retirement income. The reason why I'm going to be talking about protecting retirement income is because that is a conversation I've been having on the regular, like daily. It has been daily. My wife and I actually went down to an event this last Friday. We volunteered to help with an event at the Utah State Fair down in Salt Lake. Ended up talking to a really cool guy, and I really enjoyed visiting with this guy. He seems like a really good individual. He ended up asking me about some retirement accounts he has, and I'm like, gosh dang, this just keeps coming up. Maybe I should create a podcast about it. I actually had a lot of things that I went over and thought about over the weekend about how I could use this podcast show to educate more on the things that I'm seeing on a regular basis. If I'm being honest with you, I've literally looked at ways of, okay, how could I become an educator? How could I really share the things that I'm seeing, especially over the last 8 years being in the financial services industry? I get tired of the conversation being around people think I'm just trying to sell them something. In some situations I am, because that's how I make money. That's how I provide. But at the end of the day, I get tired of the perspective of just selling. Like, I want it to be a value add. And so I've literally looked at, do I need to exit the insurance industry? Do I need to leave this industry completely and find a way that I could spend my time teaching the things that I'm passionate about and that I believe in, from a perspective of helping people live a better financial lifestyle? I've talked about it before. I really feel like everybody just wants to live a good life when it comes to finances. People are tired of inflation and living paycheck to paycheck and all these things. But at the end of the day, it comes down to accountability. Like, we've done it to ourselves here in America. We are in the financial struggle and problem we're in because of the lack of knowledge and understanding. And if you have a desire to change that, that's great. There's knowledge and information out there to help you progress and grow and live the life it is that you want to live. And so I want to be a part of that. I want to be an influence for good. I want to share something that hopefully changes someone's life. That's the whole goal behind all of this. So this morning, I put together an illustration on a fixed index annuity. And the reason why I did this is because of what these accounts can do. And I put this illustration together based on the conversation that I had with this gentleman, showing if we took a retirement account that's no longer being contributed to and moved it to a different type of an investment account, what would it do? What would it look like? So I took that perspective and created these things. Now, I want to share this right at the beginning. You guys, there is no guarantees on any of this information. It is currently September 8th, 2025. All of this information that I'm sharing is based on September 8th, 2025. It can completely change a month from now, a week from now, 2 weeks from now. It's dependent on the stock market, interest rates, the Federal Reserve. All of these different things have a factor on what we can do and how we can do it and why we can do it. There's a lot of stuff going on there. So don't think, if you're listening to this down the road, don't think that this is 100% guaranteed. I'm going to be talking about some bonuses. I'm going to be talking about growth. I'm going to be talking about all these things. And I've seen them really good some months, and I've seen them okay some months, and I've seen them not the best some months. But no matter what, I look at this from a perspective of, okay, if this was my grandma, if this was my mom, if this was my dad, if this was my brother, if this was my best friend, if this was my wife, what would be the advice I give them? And I'm going to give you guys this scenario. My wife asked me this question the other day. She said, if I ended up quitting my job and retiring from it in the next couple of years, hypothetically, she has a retirement account with her job with Utah State University. I want to say it's a 403B, something like that. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. She said, what would you do with it? Because we can't touch it while she's there, because Utah State's the only one investing into it. We're not putting any money into it. We don't put any money into retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, none of those things. Any qualified type accounts, we don't put any of our own money into it. But Utah State does. and it's built up pretty well. It's been a pretty nice account. She said, what would you do with it? And I said, this day you quit and we can now access that money, I would transfer it immediately over to a fixed index annuity. Let's get some bonus and let's get some good growth that protects the downside. And so what I'm going to be talking about is these fixed index annuities. Now, they can be qualified accounts, meaning a qualified account is you put money into it, but you haven't paid taxes on it. Where it's like, hey, I put 5,000 in here, I get it pre-tax, so I'm getting like kind of tax deduction on it. You could look at it that way. But anytime I draw money out of it, I'm going to owe tax on it. So a lot of 401ks and retirement accounts, company retirement accounts, those are qualified accounts, meaning you haven't paid tax yet. If it's a non-qualified account, that means it was just cash or money that you had and you wanted to invest it and get a better growth on it, and you have paid tax on it. And so when you pull money out of it, there's no tax. Now, any growth or anything you can pay tax on. But there's subject to, there's a lot of different things. So there's no guarantee on anything that I'm sharing. It is subject to change. But I come from a point and a perspective. This is exactly what I do with my wife's account. I don't have any of these accounts, but if I had an account, this is what I would do. If my mom retired and changed jobs, this is exactly what I would look at doing. Now, doesn't mean it's 100% the best and perfect, but I've seen positive situations of people that did do this, and I've seen negative situations of people that didn't do this. And so I've just looked at this protecting our downside. So this fixed index annuities, they have the potential to grow. So if the market's growing by 8%, you could be growing by 8%. But if the market's losing money, let's say you're minus 6%, these go to zero. This specific account I'm sharing with you goes to zero. So if you deposited $100,000 into this account and it grew by 6%, and now you had 106,000, and then the market went down 8%, you're staying at 106,000. And then the market comes up another couple of percent and you make another $4,000, now you're at 110,000. And then the market drops, you're still at 110,000. So if you're watching the video, I'm going to show you with my hands. So we're going to say this is a traditional retirement account that a lot of people are familiar with. This over here, the one with my watch on it, is the fixed index annuity. And let's say they both grew by 4%. So they go up. And then let's say the market drops 8%. And then let's say the market goes up 2%. Then let's say the market drops 4%. You see what happens? This one goes up every time the market goes up. The one with my watch, the fixed index annuity, this one goes up every time. But this one goes up and down with the market. Up and down, up and down. So that's what I'm going to be showing you here. So let's jump into it. Okay, so these fixed index annuities, based on what I was looking at, this was a little thing that I came up with. I'm looking at two different ones here. There's a 10-year plan that gives a 16% bonus with a 5% free withdrawal and no annual fees. So if I deposit $100,000, I'm going to instantly get a bonus of $16,000. Now that is as of October 8th, 2025. October 25th, 2025 might not be the same. It might be a 12%. It might be no bonus. Okay, it is subject to what it is at the time of the market. Okay, but a 10-year plan that gives a 16% bonus, 5% free withdrawals, and no annual fees. So let's say you deposit that into a 10-year. That means a 10-year contract. So they are wanting you to leave the money there for 10 years. Now, you don't have to. You can suspend that money. There's going to be a surrender charge when you do that. But they want you to leave it in there for 10 years. Anytime you take money out of this plan, you can take 5% of the money free every single year. So if you're like, hey, I got $100,000, I want to take my 5%, they'll give you $5,000, and there's no penalty. Okay? But it is subject to taxes. So just remember, you're always going to pay taxes on those qualified accounts. This 15-year plan gives a 27% bonus. So a lot of people are like, well, dang, 27. So every $100,000, you're going to get $27,000 and a 10% free withdrawal. So you can pull 10% per year. So that's great. But it's got a 0.95% annual fee. Okay. So you're getting a beautiful bonus, but there is that fee. So you need to calculate that in there. Some people don't think it's a big deal because on a lot of retirement accounts, there's fees that are anywhere from 0.5% to 1%, 2%, 3%. Pretty common, it's 1 to 3%, maybe 0.75, 0.75%. Just depends. This one's a 0.95% annual fee. It's figured in the illustration. It's just doing what it does, okay? So these are the two options that we're looking at. So we could do a 10-year, 16% bonus, 5% free withdrawal. And a lot of these people that I'm meeting with, they're like, okay, great, I can take money out, but I don't want it. Like, I'm 50, I'm 55, I'm 52, I'm 60. I just want this thing to grow over the next, there's a 5-year one too, but in these people's situation, the 10 and 15, there were 50 and 52 that I ran today. And so I just based it off that because I'm like, hey, 10, 15 years, they're going to be hitting that 65 mark. So it fits really well, right? So that's cool option. So I'm going to show you here. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Maybe let's just start with this 10-year. I'm actually going to blow it up a little bit bigger so you guys can possibly see it there. Okay, now I don't show any company values here. I'm not showing carriers, nothing. This is just showing the numbers. This was with a specific carrier, but I'm not showing those things because it doesn't matter. Every time I run an illustration, I'm looking at 70, 60 something different carriers. We're comparing to see who's running the best at this time. So I based it off of a $150,000 deposit. This one's the 10-year, so it's a $24,000 bonus based on that 16% bonus. So you're going to see right here, we're going to go from 150 to 175-ish, right in there, okay? I threw some more numbers in there, and I can explain all those things later. But you can see here, 0.81% growth, 7.76, 19.19, 10.15, 13.06, 22, 14, 2.37. Now this is showing really good growth. I wish we could play with these numbers and be like 3, 2, 6, 8, 12. These are pretty rapid numbers, which we hope that's what the market does, but there's no guarantee. This is a non-guaranteed annuity contract. You see where my mouse is right here? Non-guaranteed, okay? We're showing no withdrawals. We're just letting this thing grow. It also has this death benefit on the side, which you're going to see is equal to. But I want you to look at right here. This year, hypothetically, it was at $888,883. And then it grew by 0%. But we still are, you don't see any negatives here. Okay, we have all positives. Now they're big positives, and I hope to heck, whoever does this, I hope those are the numbers that we see. It's a hypothetical, non-guaranteed annuity contract values, okay? I have seen people get 12, 16%. I actually did a contract for a guy. They have the potential to go up to 20%. And last year, for the most of the year, it was performing at 16. So I'm like, that's really flipping good. Okay, but there's no guarantee. It might get 2% this year. It might get 8%. But the best part about it is this plan has no fees. You got that bonus, and we just let it grow. If the market's growing, we're growing. If the market's negative, we're at 0. If the market's at 0.24%, great. We grew $960. We went from 400 to 402, 960. At least we didn't lose money, right? There is no situation in here where we lose money. Okay, the other one, the 15-year, it's the same thing. We can come in here and we can show we're going to get a $40,500 bonus. So we go from 150 to 190, and then same thing. Here it shows that we get to the 1.2, stays the same. There's no negatives. There's no negatives at all. I think this individual that I've been talking to is looking at the 15-year. The reason why is because he's 50, and by the time he retires in 15 years, we'll take his current company retirement account that he's doing, and we can take whatever this grows to. So let's say it grows to 325. Let's say we go from 190 to 325, which would actually be really good in a 15-year time frame. Hopefully it does better than that. Hopefully it does this. And we take his current one, we combine both of them together, and then we can get another bonus. We can turn on a guaranteed income. We can do many different things with this plan. You guys, the reason why I like this is because so many people in today's world and the conversations that I'm having, people are worried about losing money or not having enough money in retirement. They're worried about market volatility. There's another couple that I'm working with. They have quite a bit more than this, and they are just terrified of the market. The gentleman actually said, I'm about to pull all my money out and stick it under the bed because I'm so tired of it going up and down and up and down and up and down. And I showed them this option and they love this. They had some family emergency things come up that was just a tough situation. So they said, hey, give us a week or two. But they love this option where they can move their money into here. It doesn't create a tax event. It doesn't create an income event. We just transfer and roll it over to a new plan, new qualified plan. We can just let it grow for as long as we want to. We can turn it into a guaranteed income. I'll share another option with that another day. The people that I've been helping take in their money and we create a guaranteed income, like their own pension. You create a guaranteed income option. And yeah, it's just a wonderful thing. What I've found is there's a lot of financial people out there not sharing these. And I think I have a little bit of insight as to why. And I'm going to share that because I was a part of some financial, I was like, I want to be a financial planner. So I joined a company to become a certified financial planner and get your certifications and all those things. And pretty much the main conversation was use this account because it pays this commission. If the client gets mad, use this account. With these annuities, you guys, even me as a licensed professional and being licensed to offer these, it's a one-time commission. I get paid one time and I don't get paid again. Unless in the 15 years, the contract is due and they want to do another one or transfer it to someone else and they use me again, then I do get paid. A lot of retirement accounts and a lot of options that are out there that people are using, you guys, they charge a fee monthly or annually, quarterly, however they do it, but they're charging that every year, all the time. And it creates a significant amount of income for them. And so I've even had some financial professionals where I've moved from their accounts and the client goes in and says, hey, I'm moving my money. And they're like, hey, you should do this. And they're like, I'm moving it to this account. Oh, that's not a good idea. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that because we are getting the growth that those other accounts are getting. We're getting market growth based on the good parts of the market. We can still index it and invest it into multiple different accounts so we can spread the risk, spread the growth, make sure we're getting all the good that's out there. But if the market flops and has a bad month or a bad quarter or a bad year, we don't lose money. How is that not a good idea? I just don't understand that. There's pros and cons to all retirement accounts, but there's definitely pros and cons to this too. And so I just wanted to create this as an educational for protecting retirement income. If you have a worry or a stress of, hey, I don't have enough money, or I'm tired of my account practically looking like it's staying the same, look at these options. Look at a fixed index annuity. Look at, hey, could I get some bonus? Could I get some growth that is going to create some guarantees where I don't lose money? That is a guarantee. You go down to zero. That's your worst case scenario. Unless maybe you stay at zero for 2 years in a row. That would be a bump, but it's better than losing money for 2 years in a row. It takes it out of the market to volatility. And that's why I'm a fan of it. That's why I would suggest it to my wife's account, any of my family members. If I had an account, I would look at doing the same thing. It's a great opportunity to still get growth, protect retirement income, and then we have the options where we can turn it into its own pension, where it has guaranteed income for the rest of your life, for as long as you live. If you had, I'm gonna run a figure real quick, and then we'll talk about these things later. Let's say you had $100,000, and it was going to create an $8,500 guaranteed income. Just a hypothetical. There's no guarantee on that. Divided by $8,500, you only have 11.76 years of money. But in one of these, this is a growth one. But if we turned this into a guaranteed income one down the road, and it gave you $8,500 guaranteed income for the rest of your life, it would go for 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, however long you live. And there's a lot of options with that. So I'm just a fan of it. I'm a fan of giving people protection. I'm a fan of making sure you don't run out of money, making sure you don't lose money with the up and down market. And this is a cool option to get some nice bonuses and strategize and plan for your retirement, for your income. If you guys have questions, make sure there's a lot of financial professionals around. Go ask people about this and ask them, why wouldn't it be a good idea? Or why would it be a good idea? Go visit with them. If you have somebody you work with already and you want to look at these options and compare it to what you're already doing, run those comparisons and look at those. Truly look at those things for yourself. Learn about them, educate yourself. Or if you're looking for somebody, I'd love the opportunity to help you. Give my office a call, 435 557-3170. Call or text, and I'd love the opportunity to help you. But I hope this helps you guys, and you guys have the best day. Thank you for listening to the Jerry Briggs Show. Stay tuned because we're going to be putting out a lot more content and information about education, about money, about finances, about investing. I'm not securities licensed. I'm not a financial planner. I'm just sharing the things that I've learned and hopefully giving people a new perspective of what is out there. So thanks for listening. You guys take care.